Hello, I'm Isurity, and today I'll be focusing on another Gamera film, celebrating the 60th anniversary of the first film in the series. You could even go so far as to say that this isn't a Gamera film, it's the Gamera film. This movie and the entire trilogy it launched are considered among the best kaiju films ever made. I'm referring, of course, to Gamera Guardian of the Universe, released in 1995. In world cinemas, we have a truly impressive lineup of films in that year. We've gotten things like Seven, Toy Story, Braveheart, Hit, 12 Monkeys, Die Hard with a Vengeance, Jumanji, Apollo 13, Batman Forever, Waterworld, and yet again another Bond film, GoldenEye. The main competitor also got another film, Godzilla vs. Destroyer. Time for the main course. We've had quite a break, as the previous film came out 15 years earlier, and wasn't well received. After Gamera Super Monster, things don't only get better, right? Well, not necessarily. But Gamera Guardian of the Universe is not only a worthy continuation of the franchise, it's simply an excellent film. The entire trilogy is considered by many kaiju fans to be among the pinnacles of cinematography, and is recommended by many as if you want to see Gamera movies, watch this trilogy. This is also reflected in ratings on sites like IMDb and Letterboxd, where the three installments of the trilogy have the highest rating of all Gamera films. Guardian of the Universe takes third place, Gamera 2, Attack of the Legion comes in second, and Gamera 3, Revenge of Iris is the highest rated Gamera film. The creators managed to find a compromise between a distinctly more serious tone than most Gamera films of the Showa era, yet still a sequel. A key element associated with the Showa era are the protagonists. Here, too, the protagonist isn't an adult, but she is significantly older, as Asaki Kusanagi is 15 years old. She developed a special emotional bond with Gamera, which is crucial to the film plots. Regarding kaiju, unlike the sequels, the creator followed a tried and true approach, choosing from among the athletic known kaiju. Specifically, they opted for the second kaiju Gamera faced, Gyaos. In the video about Gamera vs. Gyaos, I discussed all the instances where Gyaos, Gamera's most popular adversary, appears, so I won't repeat myself. I will focus on this film. There are 3 Gyaos in total. More if you count the tiny dead ones the heroes discovered at one point, but 3 are significant adversaries. And usually, we first have a kaiju film more in the vein of the first Gamera and Godzilla, with human vs. kaiju. Gamera doesn't appear until half an hour after the start and kills one of the Gyaos. After some time, in the next fight, he defeats the other, and the final Gyaos continues to grow until it becomes Super Gyaos, providing a more even fight. Gamera, of course, wins. The scenes featuring Gyaos themselves strongly echo the first appearance, as we see him attacking the train again and Gyaos losing one of his legs. What stands out here compared to earlier films and a large portion of kaiju films is that although Gamera is a positive character, the military treats him as a threat and attacks him. Gamera Guardian of the Universe gets many awards. At the 27th Seiyun Awards, the film won the Best Dramatic Presentation Award, and at the 17th Yokohama Film Festival, it won 4 different awards. The Director Awards for Sakuke Kaneko, the Supporting Actress Award for Shidomu Nakayama, the Screenplay Award for Kazunori Ino, and the Technical Award for Shinya Hikuji. At the 38th Blue Ribbon Awards, the Supporting Actress Award went to Shinobu Nakayama. The film also won 2 awards at the Osaka Film Festival, the Newcomer Awards for Ayako Futani and the Screamer Award for Kazunori Ito. Finally, at the 9th Japan Academy Awards, Shinobu Nakayama was nominated for Best Supporting Actress, but she didn't win. Gamera was played by 2 actors, Takeru Manaba and Jun Suzuki. The former recaps how he tried to make Gamera more than just a kaiju, how he tried to act despite his costume. He also recounts how he suggested time changes, for example, in the scene where Gamera destroys the dome, which the special effect director agreed to. Manabe also mentioned that because of the costume, he couldn't hear outside sounds very well, so even when the cut signal came on, he often continued playing, feeling the opposite, that he would stop mid-take. He was contacted about returning to the role in the sequel, but he declined the offer. The role of Super Gyaos was given to Yumi Kamayama, which is unusual. It was actually the first time an actor has played the role of Daikaiju, a large kaiju. Originally, all versions of Gyaos in the film were to be played by various puppets, but when special effect director Shinji Hituchi learned that an actor was to be inside, he changed the design. In an interview, he mentioned that this decision was driven by the fact that the special effect industry was completely dominated by men. He thought it might be a bit easier for women to break into it if they didn't have to be the first one. Regarding the more typical section of actors, there are 2 significant differences here compared to films from the Showa era. First, the system of actors working for a given studio was no longer in place. So in the 1995-1999 trilogy, we have only 1 actor who appears in more than 1 film, but in different roles. I mentioned that in the videos about Attack of the Legion and Revenge of Iris. But we do have something that was practically absent from the Showa era: returning characters. Ayako Fujitani played Asaki Kusinagi in all 3 films. The actress herself is also known as having Steven Seagal as her father. Yukijiro Hotaru as Inspector Tatsumoto Osako also appeared in all 3 films. Shinobu Nakayama played Mayumi Nakama in films 9 and 11. Hatsura Masegawa appeared as Colonel Satake in films 9 and 10. Yuko Sekano played Yukino, Asaki's friend, in films 9 and 10. We also have one case when an actor appeared in 3 films from the Showa era and then rented the role in this film. Kojiro Hongo, because we are talking about him, played Keisuke Hitara in Gamera vs. Barugon. In Gamera vs. Gyaos, he was foreman Shino Tsatsumi. In Gamera vs. Viras, he appeared as Codemaster Mr. Shimida, and here he played Captain of Nojima. We also have 2 cases in the opposite direction, with actors who played here and in Gamera the Brave. Tetsu Watanabe played Company Commander Fuji Susone here. In Gamera the Brave, he was a lost sailor. As for references in other films, there are rather few. Just one film, specifically Into the Sun from 2005, starring Steven Seagal, who also produced and directed this film, so it is no coincidence that film playing in TV in one of scenes is Gamera Guardian of the Universe. The scene is also quite relevant, as we see a clip featuring Gamera, yes, but also the main character, as mentioned earlier, played by Seagal's daughter. Seagals are standard. The film ever made it into VHS, and we also see DVD and Blu-ray releases. Katogawa also is a 4K version in Japan. As usual, you can get this film as a standalone release, as a complete trilogy, or sometimes as a trilogy plus Gamera the Brave edition. There's also an Arrow release, which I talked about in more detail in the first video in the Gamera series about Gamera the Giant Monster. This part really gets a ton of stuff. The Japanese audio and the English dub are standard, of course. We also have an audio commentary track by Matt Frank, the artist who created many new graphics for this release. He also once fan-made the comic book The Last Hope, which I will discuss later. And there's a texture-heavy audio track, which was created in the UK. It's a fascinating idea. I don't know who came up with it. I didn't watch the whole thing this way, but I did watch part of it, and it's something different.
They're landing now.
That lady sure has guts. Great.
Get your men ready.
Oh, she's very good, isn't she? Very good.
I was absolutely blown away by the extras. We have interviews with director Shikueki Kaneko and SFX director Shinki Hiushi, filmed by George Buttergate in 2002. A long 90-minute interview with Shinki Hiushi from 2001, focusing on the trilogy special effects. We also have something that I think I'm most impressed with. An interview with a director, whether a regular director or a special effect director, is entirely nice, but quite typical. Besides the actors, it's primarily the directors who get the opportunity to talk about their work. But here we also get a 6-hour documentary titled A Testimony of 15 Years, divided into 3 parts, one of each disc with each part of the trilogy. It features 95 short interviews with a wide variety of people who contributed to the creation of these films, but who are normally just listed as named in the end titles. This is definitely one of my favorite extras is this release, valuable not only for Gamera fans, but I think also for anyone interested in the technical aspect of filmmaking. It's got everything covered. Online availability is also quite good, especially for American viewers, where the film can also be found on the free service Tubi.tv. Comics. This is the most comic-heavy installment of them all. From 1994 to 1995, a manga titled Gamera the Giant Monster appeared in Moldy Manga Boys, featuring a multitude of different kaiju. I see classics from the Showa era, as well as some brand new ones. This comic was intended to bridge the gap between the Showa and Heisei era films. I haven't read it myself, but according to Wikizilla, it's suggested that the Gamera we see in the movie is the same one that sacrificed himself in Gamera Super Monster. He was selected thanks to advanced technologies, in the process changing his appearance to match that of the upcoming film. According to Wikizilla, in 1995 we also get 2 other comics, both sharing the title with the movie. One published by the Sachu Korokoro Comic Special, the other by Ripu Shobo, but I haven't found any additional information about them. In 1996 we also got only American comic about Gamera. Dark Horse published a 4-issue story set after the event of the film. It's also the most easily accessible one. Finding it online isn't difficult, I won't provide links myself. The physical reprint was included in the previously discussed Arrow release, Gamera the Complete Collection. Along with this issue, the comics The Last Hope was also released. This one is more complicated, as it serves as a sequel to the film, revealing how Gamera and Gyaos were created. However, it wasn't an official work. It was more of a fan-fiction created by Mike Frank, whom I mentioned earlier in the video as the artist who provided the artwork for Gamera the Complete Collection, and the audio commentary put the version of Gamera Guardian of the Universe listed there. He originally sold these comics at the Kaiju Chief's 24th fan convention in July 2017. In 2018, The comic was published by Press 6 in Japan, along with the 4-issue series from Dark Horse. It was officially released in English in the mentioned Arrow collection, which means it's official, I guess. The merchandise for this movie is typical. We got various figurines depicting Gamera and the main antagonist, Gyaos. The most unusual, in my opinion, are these tiny figurines with Gamera and Gyaos that you can put on your finger, making it look like tiny Gamera is holding you by the finger. I didn't think I'd use that word when talking about Gamera, but they are, well, kawaii. The next recording will be about Gamera 2, Attack of Legion. But for now, that's all. Thank you for watching. Leave a like and subscribe if you liked it, and I hope to see you again in the next video. Bye!